How to set up the Lee 6-Pack Pro. Step 1, open the box. Okay, so this is what's in the box. So we got our different case feeding tubes and whatever that guy is. We'll figure. I'm assuming this is your powder feeder little hopper. And then we got the press. There you go. She looks purty. We got our bin with a bunch of other, you got your primer feeder and some other things with powder feeder. I think that thing goes on top of there. And then it came with a set of 9mm dies. And Lee keeps it simple, that's about it. Some manuals and the instructions. Nothing interferes behind here. So you can put this part right up against the table, which is the face of the press right here to run parallel with the edge of your table. And then there's 3 mounting holes that you're going to use. So I'm going to mark those 3 holes in the bench with my pencil. That's a screw. Okay, now we're going to drill these holes. I use lag bolts. I recommend actually using regular bolts, but lag bolts are what I had. I'll swap them out eventually. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this primer tube collector, and then you're going to slide it onto the bottom. Just like that. So this half-inch head, you can undo it, and that frees up this to be able to spin. You can also reduce the handle height. I'm going to go more vertical so I don't have to go quite so low. And this can be adjusted to preference later. You can see the position there. There's a hole there. Just going to feed that in right there. Push it down snug. This plastic primer feeder thing, stick it in there. I'm going to take the spring. There's a big end and a little end. Big end goes up top, and then we're going to put the little end in. This is another reason you don't want to operate this, because if you push on this to feed the primer and you don't have one of these guys in the right spot, then you can actually push up on this plastic and break it. Okay, this is they have an S and an L. What's that for? Small and large, and the small has a little dimple as well. Okay, so the S or L faces down, so you can see it's facing down there, and then the open side goes on that side when it's facing down. Okay, now we're going to install a small case retainer. So do that. This open side is going to go towards the open that goes there, and then these little tabs are going to go facing down. I'm going to take it and then slip it around here just like that, and then just plop it down there. You might have to stretch it open just a hair on both sides. Okay, so this press has 6 different positions. What these are going to be used for can vary depending on what you're loading, but typically you're going to have some sort of de-priming in this first one. Okay, up on stage 2, this is going to be your powder charge. So that's where we're going to eventually install this guy. Stage 3 and 4 are going to be for your accessories. There's like powder check. I think Hornady sells one called the powder cop die. You could put a bullet feeder here, and you can kind of put different things here on position 5. This is going 5 and 6 is going to be your bullet seating and crimping. If you're not crimping and you're just seating, you could put your seating die in either one. Doesn't matter. Well, the sizing die and de-priming die. This is for expanding the case and charging it with powder. We're going to undo this top part, because we don't need that. And then we're going to take our powder charger, so there's some styrofoam there, blow that out, and then stick it in there. No need to really use tools, just do it finger tight. You want it nice and tight, but just finger tight. So we're going to put this into position. I like to have it to where I have access to this Allen head at the end, so when I get it to the right spot, I can tighten it. And with the casing, the 9mm casing, we're just going to spin this around until we get to the proper amount. It's right about there. So it's not stopping the progression of the ram. If I go a little more, then it's stopping. So right there. Yep, 332nd Allen head. It does not come with one. You have to supply your own. And then we're just going to go ahead and lock this down. The first thing is to pick your case feeder tube. A was already attached to mine because, hey, that's what it needs, is for a 9mm lure. Also, it does come with this taller case feeder that's meant to go right here if you're doing taller casings. Okay, next is you're going to want to undo this nut here, and then we're going to stick the case feeder assembly into here, and then we're going to adjust it so that this tube that barely clears this short case feeder. And then we're going to take the other nut and feed up on the bottom and then tighten it. Okay, now you got that tightened, you can take all these tubes, some of the styrofoam pieces on them from shipping, and stick them all in the spots where they go. There you go. That's pretty cool. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, I'll be leaving these 2 accessory ones free, and next the bullet seating die. and then we'll be doing the factory crimp die. Okay, next we're going to set up this primer feeder, flip it over like that, and then you just shake it. Okay, so then you'll want to close this. Now you can push this up, and then the primers will start feeding, and you can see them feed into there. It should grab a primer, come back down, go over there, and then we're going to see if that primer goes in good. And ta-da, there we go. Okay, and there you have it, the very first projectile loaded on this Lee 6-Pack Pro. Okay, once you get to this point, the press is totally set up, so now we're just gonna make sure everything works good. Okay, now we got all stages going full throttle. Okay, and there you go. Bunch of Freedom Seeds ready for the range. Okay guys, so that is how you set up the Lee 6-Pack Pro, and then you are good to go to just full send and reload a bunch. If you're new to reloading on a progressive, take your time, go slow, check everything, because it's really easy to accidentally make mistakes and miss things because a lot is happening at once. Okay, if you have any other thoughts or comments on this guy, please put in the comment section below. As always guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.